Everybody makes mistakes. Artists make mistakes.
One of the songs that I wish we would have written, or wrote it.
Politicians make mistakes.
In the beginning.
Football players make mistakes.
I think I did conscious decision.
Even native speakers make mistakes.
Children do learn.
And also, I make mistakes. So the question is it a bad thing to make mistakes? There's a sentence that we teachers always use. If you don't make mistakes, you won't learn. Learning comes from your mistakes. But here's the problem. A lot of the students are afraid of making mistakes. What if I embarrass myself? What if I say something and they laugh at me? I don't want to seem stupid. I understand you. Sometimes mistakes can be embarrassing.
Delicious looking dick from... sorry about that. Delicious looking dish from Rick there. Pork, yeah.
But it's mainly about your mindset. It's about how you see mistakes. You may be afraid of it, and so you would never speak because you have the fear of making a mistake and embarrassing yourself. Or you can be like her.
Of my office, conscientiously, that's okay, and the best of my ability. Conscientiously.
Make a mistake, have a good laugh, and learn from it. Remember, English is not your first language. It's your second or even your third language. So be proud that you can speak another language. And do not be afraid of making mistakes. Alright, enough talking. In this lesson, I have selected 15 common mistakes made by famous people. But why? Because I want to show you that regardless of all these mistakes, you can clearly understand what they are trying to say. So it is okay to make mistakes. Nobody's gonna laugh at these videos that I'm going to play for you. But at the same time, I'm going to use this opportunity as a teacher to show you 15 common grammar mistakes and to help you avoid them. Alright, let's start with Liverpool fans. And we're going to watch a video by Mo Salah.
You want everybody to play good because you're not going to win the league alone, so you want other players also to perform. That's what I'm trying to do last few months, or probably from the beginning of the season, to study their games, understand what the players like.
You could easily understand what he was trying to say, even though English is not his first language and that he makes a lot of mistakes. But see, this is the point. It is okay to make these mistakes. Did you find it funny? No, he was talking about something and you could understand what he was trying to say. But he made two mistakes in that video clip. The first one was this. You want everybody to play good. Now, what's wrong with this sentence? You understand what he means, right? But the problem is with the word good. Good is an adjective. But before the adjective, what do we have? A verb, play. Now, what he was trying to do was to define play. How were they playing? And to give more information about a verb, we use an adverb. Now, good is an adjective. But what's the adverb of good? Well. So instead of this sentence, he should have said this. You want everybody to play well. The second problem was with this sentence. That's what I'm trying to do last month. Now, there are two mistakes here. One, I'm trying, and two, last month. Think about it. I'm trying is present continuous. Something that is happening right now. And last month is referring to the past. Present continuous, past, they cannot be in the same sentence. So what should we do? Let's think about what Mo Salah was trying to say. So this is Mo Salah, and here's a diagram from the past to the present moment. And what he was saying was that during this time, starting in the past and until now, he's been trying to do something. For how long? For a few months. Now, something that started in the past and is still going on is present perfect continuous. Have or has been verbing. So instead of I'm trying to do last month, you wanted to say I've been trying to do in the last few months. Present perfect continuous. All right, let's continue.
Yeah, if I stay in this country, I will think about it. But so far, I'm just thinking about winning the Premier League and we see end of the season.
There are two things in this sentence. So far, I'm trying. Now, I'm trying is present continuous, something that is happening right now. But so far is referring to a moment in the past until now. This is not present continuous. So what should we do to fix this mistake? We have two options. One, to use right now instead of so far. If you change so far with right now, the problem is solved. Right now, I'm thinking about winning the Premier League. But is this what he wanted to say? No. What he wanted to say is that starting in the past and until now, I've only been trying to focus on one thing over a period of time. So he wanted to use so far, but with so far, we do not use present continuous. We use present perfect continuous. So far, I've been thinking. So remember this, so far plus present perfect or present perfect continuous, right now with present continuous. Okay, enough with Mo Salah. Let's go to another celebrity, a Colombian-American actress. Sofia Vergara. You might know her from the show Modern Family.
Well, I was doing something, but I don't really know. And maybe people convinced me on doing things that I didn't want to do. I don't know.
She is amazing, and I'm a big fan of hers. She made a few mistakes in this video. Look at the verb convince. She said, maybe people convinced me on doing. So the preposition of convince in this sentence is on, but that's the mistake. For convince, we always use this structure. Convince somebody to do something. We use the preposition to. So instead of convince on doing, she should have said convince to do. Maybe people convinced me to do. But there is another mistake in this sentence. She said that I didn't wanted to. Didn't is negative. And it's past. And after did or didn't, we do not use the past form of the verb because did and didn't themselves are in the past. We don't use two pasts together. So instead of didn't wanted, she should have said didn't want. Let's continue.
I don't know. I'll find out. Somebody would text me, I think, or Instagram me or something and tell me what it is because I cannot remember what was I doing.
Okay.
I mean, it's perfectly understandable what she's trying to say. But as a teacher, I have to correct this. I cannot remember what was I doing. Think about the second part. What was I doing? It's a question form, right? Because we have what, WH, was, which is our to be verb, and then I, the subject. So we have verb subject. This is the structure of a question. But is this a question? No, it's a sentence. It is meant to give us information, not to ask us anything. And so we call this indirect question. But an indirect question is not really a question, and it should not be in the question form. So it shouldn't be in the verb subject form. It should be in the subject verb form as an affirmative or a positive sentence. So instead of I cannot remember what was I doing, she should have said I cannot remember what I was doing. I was subject verb, not verb subject. But how do you understand if it's an indirect question and not a direct question? It's very easy. Think about this. Is the sentence asking a genuine question? Or is it trying to give more information to you? I cannot remember what I was doing. Is she asking you? No. She's just saying that she cannot remember. She's providing information. So it's not really a question. It's an indirect question. Okay, time for politicians. We're going to watch a short video of Emmanuel Macron, the president of France.
That's the package.
What about immigration?
About immigration in France, the program we defend is that first we want to better control it.
It was understandable, right? And that's the point that I'm trying to make. Even though they make mistakes, you can understand them. So it's okay to make mistakes, no matter who you are, a student, a politician, an artist, a celebrity. It's absolutely fine. The whole point of learning a language is to communicate with people, is to get your message across. And that's what they're doing. And even though they make mistakes, it's understandable. All right, but again, I'm a teacher, so let's correct him. We want to better control it. This is a common mistake among Europeans. And this usually happens because of the differences between the European languages and English. It's a mistake in the word order. Look at better. Better here is an adverb. It is supposed to describe a verb, and adverbs usually go after a verb or after a verb phrase. Now, what's the verb phrase here? The verb phrase is want to what? Want to control it. Okay, want to control it is our verb phrase. The adverb should go after the verb phrase. Want to control it better, not want to better control it. Let's continue.
No, but normal people now has to deliver a new revolution, a democratic revolution.
This is a very minor but very common mistake, and it is called subject-verb agreement. What does it mean? It means your subject does not agree with your verb. Look at the subject of this sentence, people. Is it singular or plural? It's plural, people. And look at the verb, has. Is it singular or plural? Has is third person singular. Plural subject, singular verb, they don't agree. And this is why it's called a subject-verb agreement. Because the subject is people, the verb needs to be in the plural form. So instead of has, it should be have. Normal people now have to deliver a new revolution. Let's continue.
You already did. That's the new Munich conference. When some people tries to go in the Front National direction in the French political spectrum, that's a big mistake.
Again, the same mistake. Subject-verb agreement. Look at the subject, people. And look at the verb. Tries, singular, right? It should be plural. Try. When some people try to go, not tries. Now, another politician, Giorgia Meloni, the Prime Minister of Italy.
What we are facing and what we want to build. We don't change idea every day. We don't say every day a different thing. And they can trust on us.
She speaks very clearly. I had no problem whatsoever understanding her. Did you find it difficult to understand what she was trying to say? I'm pretty sure the answer is no. So again, guys, the point I'm trying to make is that even though these people are making mistakes in English, it is perfectly clear what they're trying to say. So don't be afraid of making mistakes. Nobody's going to laugh at you for the mistakes you make in your second or your third language, unless you say something funny, in which case you can have a good laugh. All right, back to this sentence. We don't change idea every day. What's wrong? What's the noun here? Idea. Is it countable or uncountable? Well, you can say one idea, two ideas, three ideas, so it's countable, right? Now here's the thing. Whenever we have a countable noun, it should either have a, an, or the articles, or it should be plural. It cannot be alone. So it should be either an idea, a good idea, or the idea, or ideas. It cannot be idea. So the sentence should be, we don't change ideas every day. She also made this mistake, which is similar to Macron. And again, as I said, this is a very common mistake among Europeans. And it happens because word order works differently in European languages compared to English. She said, we don't say every day different things. Okay, listen. We don't say. Say is our verb. Now, it needs an object. Say what? You don't say what. We don't say different things. How often? Every day. You see the correct word order? We don't say different things every day. So, first, our verb needs an object. Then we can have the expression of time or frequency. She also said this. They can trust on us. Now, trust here has a preposition on, but that's the mistake. Trust doesn't need any prepositions. They can trust us. But I see why she made that mistake. Instead of trust, probably she wanted to say rely, because you can't say they can rely on us. And she said they can trust on us. They can trust us, they can rely on us. Let's continue.
But I also think it depends on women. Women need to believe on it. To believe on it more than they do.
Again, very clear to understand what she wanted to say, but there's a teeny tiny mistake. Women need to believe on? No. The preposition of believe is in. Women need to believe in it. All right, enough with politicians. Now it is time for the GOAT. No, not this GOAT. The GOAT. Cristiano Ronaldo is a great example of someone who has come a long way in his English learning journey. When he was 18 years old, he couldn't understand English.
Are you feeling more and more confident with each game?
No understand.
Are you confident?
No understand, sorry.
But now, even though he still makes mistakes from time to time, he speaks English and he communicates effectively. He does interviews, he has his own YouTube channel. All right, watch this interview.
And Guardiola say 2 weeks ago, I guess, that they try hard to have me.
Now in this sentence, he made two mistakes. And these are very common among beginner intermediate learners. He's clearly talking about the past, but he is using the base form of the verbs. Basically, instead of using past simple, he's using present simple. How do we know that this is a past sentence? Because you can clearly see the 2 weeks ago time phrase. So instead of try, he should have said tried. Instead of say, he should have said set. Let's continue.
Wasn't close, but I think I did conscious decision. I don't regret.
This is a collocation mistake. There are two mistakes here. One is about the word decision. Is it countable or uncountable? One decision, two decisions, three decisions, so it's countable. Remember what I said earlier? If a word is countable, you either need to use articles, a and the, or you need to use it in the plural form. Now, because he's talking about one decision, we should say a decision, right? I think I did a conscious decision. But here's another mistake. You don't do a decision, you make a decision. This is called a collocation. A collocation basically is the way different words sit together. For example, do does not collocate with decision. Make collocates with decision. You make a mistake, you don't do a mistake. So the sentence should have been, I think I made a conscious decision. Let's continue.
But kind of some points that you not agree. So I'm always like that in my life.
Here's a very common mistake. With the verb agree, we don't use to be verbs am, is, are, was, were. We use do, does, did, or the negative forms. So I cannot say, are you agree? Is he agree? Was he agree? I should say, do you agree? Does he agree? Did she agree? And the negative form. I cannot say, you are not agree. I should say, you do not agree. All right, in this lesson, I tried to do three things. I tried to show you that everybody makes mistakes. I tried to explain, demonstrate, and prove that it's okay to make mistakes. You should not be afraid of it. And if you don't make mistakes, you won't learn. I also used the opportunity to teach you 15 very common grammar mistakes and how to avoid them. I hope you've enjoyed this lesson. If you want to have the summary of this video and all other videos of mine on YouTube in one book with more than 500 pages for free, you can download my Ultimate English book. As I said, this book has more than 500 pages of lesson summaries of all of my YouTube channel videos with the link to those videos so you can use it to review all of the lessons that I have on my channel for free. And you can do it right now. But how? Click on the link above my head or in the description down below. Go to my website, type in your name, email address, country, and click download. You will get the link in your inbox. I hope you enjoy it, and don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, and if you're new to my channel, click subscribe. See ya!